I mean, if you think about it, the average person who goes to church over and over throughout their lifetime, maybe they're second, third, fourth generation Christians, I think they're very vulnerable. Because it's almost like I listened to Jesus, I went to church, and I heard the sermon, and I slept through half of it, but I heard half. The question is, are we listening to him and obeying him? In other words, am I more like Jesus this week than I was last week or the week before or the year before? I mean, some people go to church for 40 years and they're just as carnal today as they were 40 years ago or 20 years ago. And that's why this passage is so important, because God is going to say, you need to listen to my son. And he's going to say it to Peter, James, and John, who had grown up in synagogue, who had grown up with the scriptures, who had spent 3 years following Jesus around. Why were they being told to listen to Jesus? Because they had just seen his glory. Friends, if you and I can capture and understand the glory of Jesus Christ, that he is the exalted Son of God, who's coming in glory, power, and majesty. He's seated at the right hand of God. All the glory of God rests upon him. He is the second person of the Trinity, the hypostatic union. If you and I can get that picture of Jesus, then obeying becomes a lot easier. Because he's in charge. All authority, Jesus says, has been given to me in heaven and earth. Well, if that's really true, why wouldn't you listen? Why wouldn't you obey?